Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the masters of the draft put their skills to the test here at the giant iRacing Super Speedway, a 3-mile brainchild of all of the developers here at iRacing.com. Speeds over 200 miles an hour, 84 laps, 252 miles here tonight. Who will get the job done and walk away with the checkered flag here with the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing? We're going to find out in just a brief moment. But before we do, why don't we get to some of those qualifying times? Moments ago, the qualifying session wrapping up and walking away with that top spot, snatching the U.S. Veterans Pole Award. He'll bring the field to the green flag here tonight behind the wheel of that number 12, Jim Thorndike. Great qualifying effort out of David Duke as well as Joe Wells. He's going to put that number 3 inside of the top 5. Dylan Picklesheimer right back there inside of your top 15. Scott Wise a little bit slow on the go here in the U.S. Veterans qualifying session. Wise going to slot just outside of the top 15 in 17th. 25 drivers in the field here tonight vying for their chance at a checkered flag to see they can't try to close in on Wells in that overall points championship. Just race number 2 here in these Gen 6 machines. So the 4-week mini season just about at that halfway point coming into tonight's race. Jacob Drift sitting just 6 points in front of last week's race winner at Daytona. Andrew Moore right there sitting in second. Joe Wells in third in the Gen 6 points standing. So a lot on the line, not just in the overall season, but a lot on the line in the 4-week mini season. So before we begin to step trackside and get your national anthem and starting a lineup, how you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Already trackside as drivers begin to fill the stands, ready for some fast-paced, high-bank super speedway action. Handful of drivers using these precious final moments in happy hour to ensure that the car is shook down properly, make sure all the bolts are tightened, everything in its proper place. As the rest of the field makes their way towards pre-race inspection, there you can see drivers, or fans I should say, slowly filling the stands. We're not going to see a single seat empty here tonight. Another sold-out packed house on tap here at the iRacing Super Speedway. So with just a few minutes to go before our national anthem, we're going to head to just a brief commercial break. Head back trackside with your starting lineup. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And we bring you back in live trackside for tonight's NASCVR Masters of the Draft. Race number 2 behind the wheel of these Gen 6 machines. Gonna hit the high banks of the iRacing Super Speedway for the Slingshot 252. And as drivers slowly make their way to their starting positions, we're going to get a little closer to the starting grid. There you can see all of the drivers beginning to line up, looking for a handful to make their way through inspection. And we will fire things off tonight. It's going to be a great race, great night, crazy finish last week at Daytona. Will we see it again? We'll find out in just a few moments. But as you can hear those familiar sounds in the background, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup in the Slingshot 252. Pulling off of the starting grid and into that top spot, he will bring us to the green flag behind the wheel of the number 12 machine. Jim Thorndike is your U.S. Veterans Pole Award winner. David Duke just to his outside back in row number 2 here tonight, the 93 of Darrell Johnson in the 3 of Joe Wells. Look how beautiful that 3 is out there, I'm telling you. You don't get a prettier face on top of a machine anywhere, I'm telling you that, but no, just kidding. Jack Durham, Zach Landon back in row number 3, row number 4 here tonight. The 08 of Greg Thompson, followed by the Drift King, Jacob Drift. Corey Coe, Bowman Pendergast back in row number 5, row 6 tonight from the iRacing Super Speedway. The 88 of Sam Taylor, followed by the 80 of Mark Willett. Inside row number 7, the 77 of Andrew Moore, followed by the 16 of Dylan Picklesheimer. Travis Gilbert, Gregory Thurlow rounding out your top 16. Wise and Ackerman back in row 9, row 10 tonight, William Britton and Darren Mack. Dakota Bailey, Landon Lacey, Richard Smith, Brandon Browning. Top out your top 24, Michael Eden, tail end of the field. As we head off of 4 pace car ducks to that left-hand side, we're ready to unleash the drivers for the first time tonight into the restart zone, and away we go. Green flag flies for the first time here tonight for the iRacing Super Speedway. Handful of drivers, 4 of them starting from pit lane. They're going to be behind the 8 ball early here. Inside lane looks to be much, much more organized. That is where the numbers are as drivers drop from the top down to the bottom. Halfway down the backstretch for the first time, here comes a run from that 74 of Zach Lanen to the top. Big move to almost 3 wide for a moment. I believe that's going to be... It looked like that was the 14 for a moment, but he's going to slide back and the 12 going to lead him off of turn 4. A lot of action already over the track, battling for the race lead. The 3 takes it to the high side. Joe Wells looks to lead in the turn 3. Earnhardt tribute. David the Cave car here, the 08. He wants the race lead. Greg Thompson, 6 positions gained. 3 wide at the front. Contact and trouble. Big trouble at the front of the field. And we've got a mess. The caution flag will fly here on lap number 2. Mess at the front of the field. Let's go back real quick. Let's go ahead and jump on it as soon as we can. Let's get a shot from up above. Let's see what happened on the replay. You can see a little bit of the carnage after the fact. Ooh, a little bit of contact for the 12-2 Wells. Significant damage. You can see that right rear crinkled in already here. One more time, let's see how it all went down. The contact between the 2 and the 12, and around they go. And that's how quick it can happen. Ladies and gentlemen, that is just how quick things can change, right? Everything seems calm, cool, collective. Little bit of contact between 2 drivers at the front. It's going to collect a handful of them back through the field. Joe Wells, Dylan Picklesheimer, Travis Gilbert. The 12 of Jim Thorndike going to catch a piece of this one. Corey Coe, Mark Ackerman also involved. So a total of it looks to be about 5 or 6 drivers. Early contact and trouble here at the iRacing Super Speedway. We find ourselves back under caution, working lap number 3. So with pit road open, do we got takers? Looks like a handful of these drivers that have had contact and trouble. Heading down pit road, that's going to leave Greg Thompson and Jacob Drift out on the track. Do they have anybody roll the dice and stay out with them? And indeed, looks like Brandon Browning, the 48 machine. Looks like he's going to pick up a handful of positions as he stayed out on the racetrack. Majority of the field to pit road, though, only these guys willing to risk it for the biscuits at the front of the field so far. Thompson leads Drift. Browning going to stay out, pick up 3rd. Winning the race off of pit road, William Britton and the 64 Ford will pick up a handful of positions. 15 spots gained here with the early caution tonight from the iRacing Super Speedway. So we mentioned some of the point standings coming into tonight's race. Let's talk about the season winners for a moment. Dakota Bailey, 3 wins to his name. Brandon Browning, William Britton, both knotted up with 2 visits to victory lane. Andrew Moore, Jacob Drift, both with 1 trip to victory lane. Top of the speed charts in their respective races. So just 5 race winners over the course of the first 9 weeks of racing action. So wins hard to come by, even harder to repeat. Have a handful of drivers serving some penalties after a little bit of a chaotic finish to last week's race at Daytona International Super Speedway. Drivers dealing with a different beast here tonight, though. The way this track kind of narrows up in the corners. Got a ton of banking to lean on. Ton of banking. But it's sort of like you drop in to turn 1 and you drop into turn 3, kind of the way you do at Dover International Speedway. Coming up out of these corners, the car can get just a little bit loose. We'll see who fights the handling of the car all night long here. New onto the field as Greg Thompson will lead us to the green flag. Jacob Drift just to his outside. Brandon Browning, David Duke back in row 2, Thorndike and Wise in 3. Row 4, Darryl Johnson and Andrew Moore, Sam Taylor and Darren Mack round out your top 10. Looks like most of the drivers that had the trouble elected to keep that quick fix, the one fast repair allotted to these drivers. Looks like the majority of the teams elected to keep that in the back pocket. They're going to have some lengthy stays, try to massage all the machines, fix up as much of the damage as possible. As the pace car dunks off, we'll roll to the restart zone. And green flag flies once again here from the iRacing Super Speedway. Jacob Drift starting from the front row, outside lane. That is not where you want to be. He is being left all alone, dropping down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to stop the bleeding. Drift drops back to 5th. 1, 2, 3 wide, just to the outside of these drivers. Let's take a look around the track. Let's watch some of the battles unfold early after the restart here tonight. Lap number 6 on the board, 7 this time by. So with lap 7 on the board, let's drop that timing and scoring back over there to the left-hand side of your screen. It looks like we've got one retirement already here tonight. Corey Coe going to be listed down and out. That number 9 machine, tough luck here tonight from the iRacing Super Speedway. 2-3 wide with Thorndike at the top. Your pole sitter dropping like a rock for the moment. The 88 of Sam Taylor going to take that position away. And you know, we say dropping like a rock. It's super speedway racing. Right, a perfect example of right here with Thorndike. Starting on the pole, now he's running outside of the top 5, barely inside of the top 10. Just one little move in a loss of the draft or a loss of the momentum, a losing the run, can cost you 2, 3, 4 positions in just a blink of an eye. Look at the 54 taking the high side, Landon Lacey. Looking to make a run. Number 4. Top 3 single file, bottom of the oh, contact, and Landon Lacey goes around. Contact, Landon Lacey going around. Richard Smith going to make his way by. Big trouble for the 54. The Old Spice machine torn up on that inside. Safer barrier right here on the front stretch of contact. Lap number 8. Bring us under caution once again. Let's step back and take a look at the replay. That's after the contact. That is a huge hit. Oh my gosh. Let's take one more look at it inside of the car. Get a feel for the. My God. That's a huge hit. Ain't no way that car ain't broke. Crazy trouble at the front of the field. Brandon Browning going to take, well, we know we're going to get that wrong. Greg Thompson going to keep the race lead for the moment. Man, just big hits early. Contact on the front stretch. Landon Lacey gonna bear the brunt of the fight. Heavy, hard impact on the front end of his machine. I don't see how Bailey or how Landon Lacey. I apologize. I don't see how Lacey doesn't burn that fast fix. Right, that was extreme impact on the front. Gonna be a ton of damage to fix. I don't think putting a band-aid on it, I don't think it's gonna work. I think he'll probably be victim of losing the draft if he doesn't burn that fast repair. Watch him as he pulls to the box, the 54. Big trouble early here tonight. So caution number 2 going to fly here tonight from the iRacing Super Speedway as we continue to make our way around the track. Just about half of the field on the pit road. Thompson, Browning, Duke, Drift, Eden, Willett, Thorndike, Moore, Ackerman, Mack, all electing to stay out on the track. You know, tonight's race giving us a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily just straight out opposite, but typically we see that, you know, the front of the field's the place to be. That you want to be out in front of the trouble, you want to be out in front of the problems, but if you're in the front, the problem is at the front. You find yourself having some big issues early, as a handful of our drivers have here tonight. Joe Wells still continuing to try to fix up his machine, still listed on the lead lap for the time being. The number 3 Chevy goes back out onto the track. Brenton Browning, Richard Smith, all to pit road. This latest time by. And the iRacing pace car lights are off. We are set to go back green flag racing this time by. And I tell you what, take a look at this. I believe that's going to be the 18. Well, that outside lane. Michael Eden, making me hungry, man. Snickers car, looking good. Not a huge fan of Burger King, so the Draft King similarities don't get to us. You know what? I'm getting off the subject, trailing off here. Let's reel it back in. Halfway down the back stretch, you can see we told you in the pre-race, the sold out, packed house here tonight to watch the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing's Masters of the Draft. The Slingshot 252, live from iRacing Speedway. Double file. Back into turn number 3. Well, here we go. Ready for the action. Our good buddy Joe Hugo will take the pace car back down pit road. The drivers will get set to unleash the beast. Once again here from the iRacing Super Speedway, on the gas quick, and green flag flies. Green flag flies here as Thompson jumps on the loud pedal. Jacob Drift right there with him. Will we see a tandem try to break away? David Duke gonna slide into third. Will land back in fourth. Andrew Moore gonna take and round out your top five. Jim Thorndike back in sixth. Darren Mack, Dakota Bailey, both up 13 positions, running all alone. On the high side is that Monster Energy Toyota of a Mark Ackerman, now listed in the 7th position. Scott Wise going to take that position away. Dylan Picklesheimer looking for a spot as well. Drivers nose and tail, but the top two stepping away. Almost a 1 second advantage already here. As we jump around the track just a little bit, trying to bring you some more of the action as it unfolds. There you can see that Rusty's number 24. Big homage to Light McQueen. I am Speed. He's going to need some speed. Here it's like the two-car tandem on the high side, looking to make a run. At Thorndike, Moore, and Duke. Mark Willett down on the bottom of the racetrack behind the wheel of that Little Rescue. Number 80 Machines, Little Rescue, coming on board. The sponsoring the cautions here this season. Little Rescue, saving lap cars one caution at a time. Big drop to the bottom of the racetrack, and there you can see that 54, Landon Lacey. He has definitely used up that fast repair, a little hot under the helmet, and driving right back to the front of this field. The Old Spice number 54 going to jump to the high side now as he runs down. The drivers just in front, Jim Thorndike, Andrew Moore, and David Duke. You know, if you're those two out front, it's almost like seeing what's going on behind you, right? You like seeing those 2 and 3 car packs. The more those 2 and 3 car packs battle amongst themselves, the more likely it is that you're going to be able to make that 2-car team and step away. They were gone, but now they got. Looking to the high side, coming off of the corner. A lot of positions being gained and lost. Dakota Bailey going to pass Jacob Drift for second. Moore and Lacey going at it for fourth. Bailey and Thompson now side by side for first. Big battle at the front of the field, side by side racing action. Andrew Moore a little bit loose behind the wheel of that James Oil. Number 77 Machine. 3 wide into corner. Meet the middle, the 12 of Jim Thorndike. Looked like he was desperately trying to get back to the front of the field. You can see the 59. Darren Mack stacked up at the high side. 2-3 wide, 2 rows deep. Here at the front, halfway down the back tracks, taking the run and dropping to the bottom is the 12, but how about Bailey? Dakota Bailey with a strong run on the high side. He's going to claim the race lead as we cross the line. New race lead. Behind the wheel of that Rusty's inspired number 24, Dakota Bailey to the point. So, you know, this is where we start asking questions. This is where we start looking at some strategy. Handful of the guys have yet to hit pit road. Jacob Drift running in the 5th position. Greg Thompson in the 08. He's going to drop back to the 8th position. Both of those drivers yet to make a pit stop. Whether it's under caution or under green flag conditions, neither of those drivers have been down pit road. Handful of drivers out there. Last time onto pit road was pit lane, lap number 9. So a staggered stair step stance on the strategy early here tonight as drivers down the backstretch into turn number 3, lap number 20 will go on the board this time by. Right, and that's just how quick 60 laps, or 60 miles we should say, of racing get dealt with. Drivers absolutely hauling the mail here on Fairfield's Cody showing the way as we head trackside. We're going to mute the mic for just a moment. Let's bring you some of the sights and sounds right here from the iRacing Super Speedway. Love when we get the opportunity to bring you some of the sights and sounds up close and personal from the track. Right here, the iRacing Super Speedway hosting race number 2 in the Gen 6 Mini Series for the Masters of the Draft, brought to you by Under Pressure Washing, Little Rescue, the U.S. Veterans Bowl Award. All right here in the Masters of the Draft. Little look down from the turn 3 drone cam before we head back. Closer track side. The Filthy 5 Motorsports team. At the front of the field, Dakota Bailey showing the way, tearing back right there. And that Carolina Blue 59 machine back running well. Up 17 positions from where he qualified tonight. So an amazing run so far to 58. David Duke right behind him. Duke listed has the 78. The scoring charts looks like a 58 on the side of that machine, but we'll keep it in the back of our mind. Try not to call him the wrong number out the rest of tonight's race. Handful of drivers going to fall off of the lead lap early here tonight. Just about a quarter of the way through. Joe Wells going to be listed first driver. 1 lap down. Scratch that. Zach Aladen going down a lap now as the lead pack goes by on the inside lane. Your top 7 step away. Stage racing in effect here with the Masters of the Draft, brought to you by the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racers, right here on iRacing.com. No stage breaks. We're going to have stage points, but no stage breaks. We'll keep this thing wound up. Green flag action. Here from trackside. And you know, honestly, there was a lot of opinions when it came to this brainchild of a track. Right? A lot of people are kind of in a hate love relationship with the iRacing Super Speedway. Either they absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it. There's not a whole lot of in between ground when it comes to this place. Particularly myself, I would love to see a super speedway like this as well. It reminds me of a Martinsville or a New Hampshire on like massive amounts of steroids. I know that may sound funny, but I mean, this thing 3 miles in length. Martinsville, only a half a mile. So almost a 300% increase on track size. You can lean on the extreme high banking in these corners. A lot of great runs can be generated off of the corner exit. I really love this track. It can give you a fight if you're not careful. But these guys at the front seem to have gotten it figured out in your top 7. Out to a 5-second advantage. Only a half a second separating Dakota Bailey from Jacob Drift, the 7th and final driver in this first pack. Let's jump back now to that second pack. A little less organized. Behind the 88 of Sam Taylor and his Nationwide. A bit of a Dale Jr. theme going on there. I believe that's going to be a Mountain Dew machine that William Britton right beside. Oh, we'll stand corrected. Britton, Ackerman, Thurlow, 2, 3, 4 wide in trouble. 4 wide in trouble off of the corner exit. We're going to have contact between 2 drivers, Gregory Thurlow to pit road. That could have ended a lot worse, fortunately. Thurlow able to get right to pit road. Mark Valette going to bring his machine down for attention by the crew. Travis Gilbert also to pit road. Already starting to mix things up. In this second little pack, meanwhile, front of the field, they stay organized, stay in line. You can see them snaking down the long front stretch across the start-finish line right with the 29. Now on the board. Did you see that 40? Oh my. Of Brandon Browning keeps it at the top of the racetrack. And 48 of Browning listed. Multiple laps down now, sitting 4 laps behind. Travis Gilbert also off the lead lap, all the way up to Bowman Pendergrass, the 40, listed as the first driver. 1 lap down, you can see him just off in the background there. The all-black machine got passed by your race leaders and was unable to keep the draft and stay in touch with them. 12 laps away from the halfway point. Who you got out there in TV Land, race fans? Let's get those race winning picks. Trying to keep our eyeball on some of these drivers that have not hit pit road. Greg Thompson, all ready to pit lane last time around. Jacob Drift, here in the lead pack. Final driver in this top 7. Right there you can see him sporting that familiar Breast Cancer Awareness Month pink on board of the Drift King number 14 machine. When will Drift come to pit road? And there's your answer. He's going to come this time around, but nobody coming with him. It's going to be a solo long road here for Drift. Big lockup coming to pit road. The 14 gets slowed. Or will he be popped by that pit road police? Could he be the first speeding penalty we see here tonight? Which tells us now the rest of the field should be coming to pit road somewhere within the next 9 to 12 laps. Drift slowly making his way back up to speed off of the lead lap. He has lost a lap. So from inside that lead pack now, solo. No drafting help, no drafting partner for Drift. And he enlisted one lap down. Tough break here as race leaders close quickly. And on the tail of that 17 of Jack Durham. Dakota Bailey continuing to show the way. Landon Lacey tucked in right behind him. Lacey with big time trouble. Second caution of the night, had to burn that fast fix, and it has seemed to be the right fix for that Old Spice number 54 as they break away to pit road. We told you they were contact to pit road, right to the barriers. Oh my. One into the barriers. I believe that's going to be David Duke. Duke coming to pit road in trouble. Let's take one look at it here. On board, inside the cockpit. Oh, a little help from behind. That's going to do it. Contact out. Oh, and contact again. Communication. Key. Wind coming to pit road. David Duke got a little bit jacked up from behind, and that spelled a lot of trouble. More drivers break from pit road. Jim Thorndike, Andrew Moore going to come to pit road this time around. What will Sam Taylor do? He's going to head to pit road as well. Richard Smith next in line. There's Jacob Drift looking to get himself back on the lead lap. We're going to take a look at Richard Smith halfway down the backstretch. Heading into turn number 3, new race leader Willie Pitt. This time by Daryl Johnson right behind him with Dylan Pickles Simon in tow. And that is a big run to pit road. Woo. I don't know if he slowed. And if he did, one heck of an entry. So green flag pit stops should all be but done with, and here it is. Dakota Bailey out front by over 2 seconds. That is not where you want to be. Restrictor plate, super speedway racing, you don't want to be out there by yourself. He's going to lose ground rapidly. When I say rapidly, I mean super fast. Might catch a little bit of a break here as Thorndike and Moore get back up to speed. Nose the tail on the backstretch now into 3 and 4. Darren Mack, Landon Lacey right behind them, but this could spell even bigger trouble. Right, Thorndike, Mack, Moore, Lacey, Drift. If they can get locked up, working with each other, they may be able to blow the doors off of that 24, leave him with no opportunity to sniff the draft and stay in touch. Man, there's a lot on the line right now for Bailey. I mean, one heck of a pit stop to get that far out front. He's really going to have to manage this gap as drivers close in the 59. Catching a sniff of the trap, leaving the 12 of Thorndike for a moment. On the racetrack now, Thorndike stays at the bottom and picks up that Pennzoil number 77 of Andrew Moore. And we've got side-by-side racing for your lead. So Bailey fortunate enough to utilize the runs coming from behind to manipulate the draft just enough to keep himself out in the front of the field. Your U.S. Veterans Pole Award winner looking for the race lead. Once again, bottom of the racetrack, the number 12 of Thorndike back to the point. Handful of quick cautions caught a handful of drivers out. Dylan Picklesheimer, Michael Eaton, the pit road this time around. Multiple drivers now listed off of the lead lap. Only 13 drivers remain as Scott Wise, the latest driver to fall one lap down. Thorndike and Moore trying to step away. 3/10 of a second advantage for that 77. Don't count out Bailey or Lacey. Right there, nose to tail closing in. Both up 18 positions from where they qualified. So definitely knowing how to make some moves. Looking to the high side. They've got help behind. There it is. Top 6. Nose to tail. Down the backstretch. Looking to the inside, but just for a brief moment. Landon Lacey gonna fall back in line. Jacob Drift gonna hold the fort down. And that 5th position, Darren Mack. Drop from battle for the podium spot. He's going to drop just outside of your top 5. Catch into the tail end. We cross the line this latest time by. Bossman in the flag stand going to show the cross sticks halfway through tonight's Slingshot 252. You're watching the Masters of the Draft, brought to you by the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing. Might as well go ahead and begin that mid-race report. 25 drivers to the starting grid here tonight. We've still got 22 remaining on track, only 13 left on the lead lap for now is Gregory Thurlow. He's going to battle hard to keep himself on the lead lap, so let's get to some of the driver highlights and spotlights. Man at the front of this field, getting the job done for the time being, Jim Thurlow, your U.S. Veterans Pole Award race winner, leads him back into 3. Walked away with the race win last week at Daytona. 77 Pennzoil machine. Andrew Moore up 11 spots, sitting in 2nd. This is going to be a pretty fluid battle, and we'll bring it to you as we can. Up 5 spots from where he qualified, the Georgia native Jacob Drift sitting for a spot inside of the podium positions. Not going to get it. He's actually going to drop outside of the top 5 now as Dakota Bailey behind the wheel of 55 Motorsports 24 machine looks to take and control the final spot on the podium. Bailey sits in 3rd. That's going to bring us to Landon Lacey up 5 positions from where he qualified tonight behind the wheel of that Old Spice 54 machine. Lacey with a ton of speed. And that's going to do it for your driver highlights and spotlights as we continue this long green flag run just past the halfway point Only 40 to go as we cross the line this time by. You can see these drivers that are falling off of the lead lap and down multiple laps. A handful of them, I don't want to say an excuse, but a handful of them caught up and involved in the action early here tonight. Right, a handful of these guys with a significant amount of damage. Maybe the strategy was, let's wait for the next caution and we'll go ahead and use that fast repair, and that caution did not come. They have now put themselves in an awkward, precarious situation. 2 or more laps down, you're going to need multiple. Oh my gosh, and here's the, oh my God. Wow, did you see that hit? That was, wow. A lot of force, a lot of trouble, a lot of issues there. I believe that may have been I want to say Darren Mack may have been involved with that one, but let's go back. Let's check the replay real quick. See Mack trying to save it, trying to save it. That's not the initial problem. That's not the initial issue. We're going to go back one more time, see if we can't see what happened here. Because it was, that was a crazy little moment. Let's look at it here. I don't believe this is going to be it either, guys. Let's take a look. There it is, the 59. He's had contact and trouble. Looking for who was involved here. One more time. Let's take a look, guys. Can we catch it? Oh my gosh. That's going to be Brandon Browning. Brandon Browning absolutely going to destroy the car here. And that's going to send the entire field to pit road. Everybody heading down pit lane after contact ensues. Lap number 45. Big time hit, big time trouble for Darren Mack, as well as the 48 of Brandon Browning. So as drivers make their way down pit road, we're going to use this opportunity to step away from just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back after this commercial break.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And back trackside as promised, not missing any of the green flag action field. Double file making their way into the entry of turn number 3. You can see a little front end damage on that 54, a little rear damage on the 12 of Thorndike. The pushing serious here tonight from the iRacing Super Speedway. So as the pace car ducks off, we'll get ready to fire things off once again on the gas, and green flag flies here from the iRacing Super Speedway. Some big moves by Dakota Bailey. He's going to jump from the bottom to the top. Oh, close there from the 23. Jurassic Park machine still not quite clear. 3 wide through 1 and 2. Way up the track, big wiggle there by the 54 of Lacey as he takes over. The race lead, Dakota Bailey going to easily drop down to the bottom of the racetrack, take the race lead back to the top again. 23 going to split the 54 and 14. And we've got trouble in the back once again. Caution flag will fly. Caution flag here as it looks like Sam Taylor, Mark Ackerman, and Greg Thompson have been involved with a little on-track skirmish. Let's go back. Let's go high above the track. And let's see what brought out our latest caution of the evening. There it is. Whoa, just fighting over real estate. Looks like 3-4 drivers going to be involved in this. 3-4 drivers caught up involved in our latest on-track incident here with 34 laps to go this time by. And it still doesn't put us in a fuel window yet, right? Started thinking about, well, what if these drivers come to pit road now? Will they have enough to make it to the end? And the answer to that question is no. Absolutely not. About 22 to 25 miles, or laps I should say, is about all these drivers are getting on a tank of fuel. They were last to pit road on lap 46. You're gonna be able to make it to upwards of lap, I would say a safe bet would be about 61. Which means they'll have enough fuel at that point to get to the end. Handful of drivers want to separate themselves on a strategy play. Thorndike, Johnson, Britton, Mack, Picklesheimer, Thurlow, Taylor, and Thompson. All to pit road this latest time by. That's going to give them at least a 5 to 6 lap buffer zone. And I just... We've seen it unfold during our only round of green flag pit stops. The 5 to 6 lap difference on tires didn't really make a difference, right? We've seen Dakota Bailey, who was on pit road early in the race, back on lap number 9. He was one of the final drivers to make his green flag pit stop. He was able to stay at the front of the field. Jacob Drift, also one of those drivers that he didn't pit for the longest time. He was able to come down pit road by himself, re-emerge on the track, catch the draft, utilize that to his advantage, and stay in the lead pack. some of the guys in the field here tonight just they can't quite seem to catch that break. All right, Sam Taylor involved in the on-track incident. Mark Ackerman, I believe that was the three of Joe Wells. Michael Eden also involved. So Wells has been caught up in multiple events here tonight. The 48 of Brandon Browning now back at the hauler after that extreme contact on the front stretch. He's been involved in 2 to 3 incidents here tonight, and that list of drivers back behind pit wall out of tonight's race continues to grow. Corey Coe, Jake Turner, David Duke, Brandon Brown, Michael Eden, all listed out of tonight's race. So 5 drivers are going to be forced to watch this from the hauler. Dakota Bailey looking for win number 4 on the season. We're going to have ourselves about 31, 32 laps to go when we drop the green flag this next time by. And it's getting to that point of somewhat of a short shootout, right? I know what you're thinking, 3-mile track. It's not that much of a short shootout. Looking at about, what's that going to be, about 91, 92 miles of a racing still remaining. And when you put it in perspective that way, it seems like an eternity left to get the job done. But these guys are going to click these laps off in a big hurry. Right under 45-second lap times when they get these machines up to full song in the draft. So those laps are going to click off very quickly. Does our good buddy Joe Hugo going to bring the iRacing pace car back down pit road once again? We're going to get set to nail the loud pedal. And here we go. Green flag flies once again from the iRacing Super Speedway. And really running that old school style of super speedway racing line at the front of the field, kind of that high entry and arcing down to the bottom of the racetrack, really missing what we like to call the elevator bump. Kind of drop down. It almost bottom out a little bit right there on the corner entry. You can see right here come up out of the corner. Back onto the backstretch. And how about the man that was just involved moments ago? He's used that quick fix, the fast repair, no more. The nationwide number 98 of Sam Taylor back the front of the speed. So as we cross the line this time around to complete lap number 54, we'll drop that Tommy and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you follow the ball and find driver in the field. Big run all over this racetrack. You can see a handful of these guys. Dylan Pickelsheimer for the first time inside your podium positions. That's a special take on the Menards paint scheme. With that 12 machine, what a run here tonight for Pickelsheimer. top 9 drivers all in tow here in this lead pack. Greg Thompson leading a second pack from his 10th position. He's got William Britton, Scott Wise, Mark Ackerman, and Darren Mack lined up with him. Those drivers trying to keep it clean, cordial, and calm. You can see the racing position if something happens to the drivers in this lead pack. You can see 2-3 wide mixing it up on lap number 56. Pole sitter Jim Thorndike, third driver Alex Taylor goes to the point across the line to make it an official lap. Behind the wheel of that nationwide machine. Searching for a lane, looking for a run. He's got help. That rear bumper. 24 of Dakota Bailey right there running in line. The 88 out front, trying to control both the high and the racetrack. Where's he gonna go? He's gonna stick it in the middle. He's gonna stay in the middle of the racetrack, and that's gonna open up the door for the 12. 4 wide into 1. 4 wide into turn 1, but it's going to be short-lived. A little bit of a bobble from that 93 of Darrell Johnson. He's going to go up the racetrack just in front of the 08 of Greg Thompson. As the outside lane somewhat falls apart, here comes the help. Here comes the run to the high side. You can see the timing scoring charts going a little crazy. No trouble. Trouble on the track. Greg Thompson going to be involved in this one. No front clip. Landon Lacey also catching a piece of the action there. You see that Old Spice number 54 win trouble. Let's go check the replay. And Thompson just loose way up the track. He's going to catch a handful of these guys out with this. Let's take one more look. Looked like a tire failure there, just straight up the track. And hard impact for Ackerman and Landon Lacey. You can see that secondary hit there. There's the first one. That's definitely gonna mess up the camber and the toe end and the front end of that 54 Old Spice machine. Ackerman and Lacey already on the pit road. So as we see the 5th caution flag fly for the night, we're going to cross the line. Lap number 60 will go on the board. 25 laps remain here tonight in the slingshot 252. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, pay some of the final few sponsor bills. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And back trackside as drivers continue to trickle down pit road. The front of the field going to look much different as we get ready to kick off the final few laps here in the Slingshot 252 from the iRacing Super Speedway. You're watching the Masters of the Draft, brought to you by the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing. Race car lights are off. Field ready to roll. Double file once again here from the iRacing Super Speedway. Race car in. Drivers double file. Ready to nail the gas, and away we go. Green flag flies with 23 laps remaining. 23 laps to go. The 40 on the bottom of the racetrack, giving the lead lap drivers the preferred racing lane, getting up to speed. And through turn one, front of the field for the first time here tonight, Daryl Johnson takes the 93 to the point. Single file front of the field off of turn number 2. Back down the back stretch, you can see a long train of drivers lined up here, your top 10, all in a row. Move being made to the outside now, the 24 of Dakota Manley looking for the race lead once again. Dylan Picklesheimer to the bottom. To the turn number 12, take over second. The 12 moves to second. It's going to go from the high side, back to the bottom. A lot of action going on, a lot of racing still to go. And Joe, we hear you out there. You had a couple of problems, and from what it looked like, none of your real driving, but that's just kind of short, not short track. That's well, it's short track racing as well, but super speedway racing. You know, things happen around you, and unfortunately you get caught up, collected in it, and it can put a damper on the day and end the night early here. So we're going to look for that number 3 of Joe Wells to try to just persevere overcome and try to pick up as many positions as he can throughout the course of the remaining 20 laps here tonight. For the moment, the 3 sitting in the 15th position. Greg Thompson needing a good run here tonight, sitting in the 11th position. Came in to tonight's race, is sitting in the 4th spot in the series championship. Thompson outside of the top 5 in the overall season championship. So again, as we alluded to, coming into tonight's race, there's a lot on the line. It's not just about that one trophy at the end. It's about the trophy at the end of this 4-week mini season behind the wheel of these Gen 6 Cup cars. We're going to have ourselves 2 more Super Speedway races in these Gen 6 Cup cars before switching over to the Xfinity rides. And that is going to be one heck of a series right there, I'm telling you. So if you've enjoyed yourself some great Super Speedway racing action here tonight from the iRacing Super Speedway, go ahead and show these guys some love and appreciation. And as we always say, be sure to drop them that thumbs up. That lets these guys know that you enjoy all the action week in, week out, regardless of the car, track, combination. Great Super Speedway action week in, week out, right here every Thursday night on the Turn 3 Racing Network, your home for the Masters of the Draft. Letting the race in action play out for a moment, trying to find the right words to talk about this. We've got drivers just behind him lurking in the background. The 14 of Jacob Drift no longer in this lead pack. Greg Thompson no longer in this lead pack. Heavy damage on the front end of your race leader, Darrell Johnson. Will he be able to keep himself? Or will the hungry drivers behind find a way to do away with that number 93? We'll find out here in just a handful of laps. 15 to go when we cross the line this time by. And even with the damage on the front end of that 93, it looks like Johnson able to maintain, right? Able to methodically place his Cup car in the right lane to utilize not just the momentum and the energy, but also to stall the runs coming from behind to go to Bailey for bleeding the outside lane. He's now going to drop 4th car inside lane right behind that nationwide number 88. Of Sam Taylor, single file back down the back stretch once again with Bicklesheimer in second. Thorndike and Wise shot out of a cannon, grabbing the top spot away from Johnson, who now falls back to third. Sam Taylor still in tow. Dylan Picklesider right there as well. Dakota Bailey, Richard Smith, William Britton, your top 8. All single file off of turn number 2. Halfway down the backstretch, going by the Wounded Warrior on the bottom of the 08 of Greg Thompson, continuing to try to get everything he can here tonight. He's going to fall deeper behind as we work our way off of turn number 4 back across the stripe. Just 11 laps to go. 10 laps to go, 30 miles of racing action remain here from the iRacing Super Speedway. Jim Thorndike, your U.S. Veterans Pole Award winner, back to the point. He's in good company with Scott Wise at 31, up 15 positions from where he qualified for tonight's race. Wise with a great turnaround, looking to have a good points day, trying to scratch and claw his way back into relevancy. Coming into tonight's race, 191 points out of that overall season championship. But still, 10 weeks of racing remain. The points can be made up. The ground can be gained. It's all of a matter of when you try to get it done. Who goes with you? Who stays? Who leaves you on your own? Crazy action all night long. We've seen a rash of cautions along the way. 5 yellow flags here tonight from the iRacing Super Speedway. We're under 10 to go here in the Slingshot 252 for the Masters of the Draft, brought to you by the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing. The U.S. Veterans Pole Award winner Jim Thorndike still out front. Scott Wise and Daryl Johnson rounding out your top 3. And with less than 15 miles of racing action, 4 laps to go when we cross the line. This time around, these drivers have been putting it all on the line at high speeds, high stakes. Oh, and Dylan Picklesheimer, or we apologize, that's not Picklesheimer. That's going to be the 93 of Daryl Johnson. Big trouble for Johnson on the front stretch, and caution. Caution, flag flies. Here late in the going, we're going to have ourselves a green-white checkered finish. Man, what happened? What went on? Let's go back. Let's see what happened with Johnson. And we're not going to catch it. We're going to be behind the grandstands. Looks like contact between himself and the 24 of Dakota Bailey. Yeah, contact to the inside of that left rear quarter of the 93. Hard impact to the inside safer barrier. That's going to beat up that front bumper and put us under caution for the 6th time here tonight as we go back out front with your race leader behind the wheel of that nationwide 88, Sam Taylor, to the point. Caution flag gonna fly late here. Put us under green, white, checkered conditions. Do drivers have enough to get to the end? Handful are gonna gamble here. Taylor, Picklesheimer, Britton, stay out on track. Wise, Richard Smith, Dakota Bailey. Will that 24 stay out on track after the damage? Yes, the 24 willing to roll the dice. He's gonna stay out on track. Thorndike drift back Johnson, all to pit road. So we're going to let the cat out of the bag. We had our eye on that Pennzoil number 77 of Andrew Moore. And unfortunately, doesn't look like Moore is going to be in contention for that checkered flag race winning performance here tonight. We were going to see if he could go back-to-back race winning performances here to open things up in the first 2 rounds of the Gen 6 season. And just contact and troubles going to keep that 77 outside of your top 5, outside of your top 10. And off of the lead lap, Andrew Moore listed 5 laps down. He's not going to be able to recover this one. We're going to find ourselves on a green-white checkered finish. It's going to be a 2-lap battle for supremacy, a 2-lap battle for the race win. And that's if we don't get another caution. Over 6 miles still remaining. We're going to be at the official race distance this time around. The high racing pace lights will go off. We'll go one more time by before we unleash the beasts for what could be the final time here tonight from the iRacing Super Speedway. You're watching the Masters of the Draft. Over 250 miles of racing tonight, and it has all come down to this. Drivers, double file, off of four, pace car in. To the restart zone we roll, Taylor on the gas and green flag flies with popsicle sticks on display to the go. Here from the iRacing Super Speedway, Taylor out to a 3-car advantage, doesn't want to get too far out. Gotta watch the gap. You gotta be careful about how far you get out there. Picklesheimer, Britton, Wise, Richard Smith, all right here, and quickly Picklesheimer goes right to the top. Right to the top, looking to make the block on William Britton. Picklesheimer now out front. Here comes Wise with the race lead. Big move to block the run. Picklesheimer up the track, but he's not going to get there in time. Scott Wise going to take control of that outside lane. Driver right behind him. Close battle off of 4. Drag race to the line. White flag flies. Final lap here from the iRacing Super Speedway. Scott Wise with a big push from behind. Low and around the 23 goes. The 23 Jurassic Park machine. Richard Smith going to have some trouble. That's going to leave Scott Wise out front. Sort of a sitting duck here. Big run behind him. Picklesheimer closing in. In the turn number 3, final lap. No help from behind, and Picklesheimer will easily grab that top spot. What does the 12 of Jim Thorndike do now? Thorndike looking for help, looking for a run. It's not gonna come. 2-3 wide behind him with Picklesheimer across the line. Your race winner here from the iRacing Super Speedway. Dylan Picklesheimer gonna take the top spot with Thorndike. Right behind Sam Taylor in the Nationwide number 88 will finish out your podium drivers here tonight. What a run though for this man. We talked to him earlier this season. When the podium position, he's now gonna finally crack into that race winning column. Finally walking away with the checkered flag, and Dylan Picklesheimer right there picking up the pieces right when he needed to be. What a run, as he's going to enjoy a little bit of a post-race celebration and smoke show. Fans in the stands got their cameras ready, and they're going to enjoy a bit of a burnout on the front stretch. So as he enjoys his post-race celebration, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, head trackside for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's Slingshot 252, it took one attempt at a green-white checker to get the job done. And we're going to jump right to your top finishers here tonight. We're going to begin with the driver that walked away in the second position here tonight. Let's see if we can dial him up behind the wheel of his machine. Jim, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yeah, how you doing?
I can't complain, man. How you feeling after snatching the U.S. Veterans Pole Award here tonight, and then being able to navigate your way through some of the trouble and chaos to finish with the top spot to walk away second here tonight from a beast of a super speedway?
Hang on 1 second here. All right, I couldn't hear you before. I'm sorry.
You're good. Sometimes, the audio doesn't quite come through all the time, so we'll rerun it one more time here. You started with the pole award here tonight. You were able to keep yourself out of some of the carnage and chaos throughout tonight's race. How were you able to navigate your way through all the trouble and keep yourself in a position to where you had a shot at the end?
Yeah, I tried to stay clean. I made a mistake and used a quick repair early on in the race, so I tried to stay clean to keep the fenders on it. And I missed a couple wrecks, and then just wanted to kind of mind my P's and Q's there. And then when I missed the wreck at the end of the race, I was like, okay, I got a shot here, and got behind the 12, and I just couldn't get a run on him. He was just didn't have the speed to get a run on him. But I'm happy to get second on my first race out.
Yeah, it was a fantastic night for you. You're going to pick up a handful of points here. We've got 2 more weeks left behind the wheel of these Gen 6 machines. What chances do you give yourself at getting back to the podium or maybe to victory lane?
Well, if tonight is any indication, I think I will be running pretty good. And I think I have a pretty good chance as long as I can keep my car clean.
Well, Jim, we're going to wish you the best over the course of the next handful of weeks. We'll see how everything goes. So, congratulations with the podium finish here tonight. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home?
Yeah, I'd like to give my girlfriend a shout out. She's taking care of my daughter tonight and putting her to bed. And I'd like to thank the military for everything that they do. So we have this opportunity to race, and I'd like to thank my teammates at Riot Motorsports. They help me out a lot. We help each other out, and I'd like to thank DeKalb Sycamore Buick GMC. If you need a car, come see us. We'll take care of you.
Well, Jim, again, congratulations on the great performance here tonight. We'll see if we can catch up with you in the next few weeks. Until then, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thank you. You too, Dave. You do a great job every week, week in and week out, and we appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate everything you guys do. It makes my job easy. And again, Jim, we'll catch up. I know we will. You're fast. I know we'll meet again.
Yes, sir. Hope the fans enjoyed the race.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walks away in second here tonight. Debut night for Thorndike, and he walks away with a great finish, and that's going to move us right along the running order. Let's see if we can't bring him in and talk to him once again for the first time in a good little bit. Dylan, it's Dave. You got us?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. Well, you heard me say it coming to you there. It's been a minute since we had the chance and opportunity to talk to each other, but man, you got the job done here tonight. How good does it feel to walk away finally getting that checkered flag performance?
Man, it feels nice. It's been a long season. I really haven't made all the races, but I've had fun doing them, and I've had some good finishes. Just haven't been able to get that one, but I finally got it tonight, man. I'm happy. It wasn't a good race early on, but we were there at the end.
Well, it's not always about the beginning part of the race. I mean, sure, you got to make it through it to be there at the end, but that's when it counts. That's when it matters, especially when it comes to these super speedway races. You got to give your opportunity to have a shot for it at the end, and that's exactly what you were able to do. You made a great move at the end to grab the race lead, and it was over from that point. Man, congratulations on breaking through into the winners column. Before we let you go and finish off spraying the champagne and enjoying this race win, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
I want to shout out TNT Motorsports. I want to shout out Scott Wise for running the league, and I want to shout you out for doing the broadcast, and shout out my fiance and my mama.
There it is. Get those important ones in and make sure you put them first on the list next time. There's one thing I've learned along the way. The girlfriend, the wife, fiance, and the mom, they come before it all because you never know when they got a frying pan and they're standing behind you. I'm just saying, check over your shoulder, bud. No, I'm just kidding.
For sure.
A great race for you. We hope that this builds some momentum, maybe a little bit of confidence moving forward into the next 2 weeks behind the wheel of these Gen 6 machines before jumping in the Xfinity rides. But nonetheless, heck of a run here tonight, Dylan. Congratulations. And as always, until next time, stay safe and keep it fast.
So much.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words for the man that walks away in victory lane. For the first time this season, Dylan Picklesheimer will pick up the race win. What a run, what a night. Green, white, checkered to finish things off tonight. And as the music begins in the background, producers letting us know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results from the iRacing Super Speedway. Walking away with the top spot behind the wheel of his Chevy, Dylan Picklesheimer picks up the checkered flag in the Slingshot 252. Jim Thorndike going to finish in second with Sam Taylor back in third. Fourth place tonight belongs to William Britton. Scott Wise finishes out your top five. Jacob Drift back in sixth with Darren Mack in seventh. Eighth place tonight to Dakota Bailey. Ninth place Mark Willett, and finishing your top 10 to 93 of Daryl Johnson. 11th place from the iRacing Super Speedway belongs to Richard Smith, with Greg Thompson picking up 12th. 13th tonight to Zach Halanen. Bowman Pendergrass in 14th. Andrew Moore, the 77 machine, back in 15th. The 3 of Joe Wells slides home 16th with Hollywood. Mark Ackerman coming home in 17th. Gregory Thurlow 18th. 19th tonight in the Slingshot 252 to Landon Lacey. Travis Gilbert will finish out your top 20. Michael Eden, Brandon Browning, Jack Durham, David Duke, and Corey Coe finish out the 25-car field. And that's going to be it for us as we begin to cut off the cords and cut off the lights. Stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in turn 3.